Assalamu alaikum girls, how are you? Hopefully you people are good and at home and enjoying the work, online work that you people are daily receiving. Right, today girls I am going to do a new question that will come to your final examination, and it will have 15 marks in your paper. Right, I am going to talk about how to write a letter and how to write an application. It will carry 15 marks in your final examinations. Girls, you will have a choice in it. Like you, it's up to you. Either you want to write a letter or you want to write an application. It also depends which of them you prepare the most, and in the final examination which is the topic given in letter or in application that you can do the better. Today we will talk about letter writing. Right, there are different types of letter. You can see on the screen that there are normally two types of letter. One is informal and the second is formal letters. Now you must know few things about personal letters here. Normally in the final papers you do not come about personal letters, you come about formal letters, that are letter written to the editors. But here you should know something about the personal letters and informal letters as well. It is important to know how to write a letter of personal nature. Now keep it in your mind, girls, that personal letters are not as formal as business letters. Right, this is something important. Personal letters are not as formal as business letters are. Right, personal letters can be the handwritten and they can be typed one, and it is also optional to include date in the upper left hand corner of your letter. Right, you can directly jump straight into informal salutation ending with comma and leave the colon. It means in the personal or in informal letters you do not need to follow a particular or set pattern. Right, normally in the letter there are three paragraphs written in any letter. There is an introduction, then there is a body, and then a closing paragraph. But in the informal letters or in the personal letters you don't need to worry about this. Then coming to the closing, of the paragraph, you have to skip few lines, and then you have to write your own signatures at the end of the letter, or your address, your contact number at the end. But in the informal letters you don't need to worry about all these things. Right, this is all about informal letters that normally do not come to your final examinations. Right, but you must know what is the difference between informal letters and the formal letters. These two slides were about informal letters or the personal letters that normally do not come to your papers. Now what comes to your final paper, that is formal letters. Let's talk about formal letters. Formal letters they follow a set pattern. Now keep it in your mind, they follow a set pattern. Now you have to worry about a format. There must be a pattern in the letter writing. There must be a format in the particular letter writing. Then there must be at least three body paragraphs in the formal letter writing. Now the closing paragraph mention about the suggestions as well as the conclusion of that particular issue which is dealt in that letter. Now here in your final examinations normally letter to editors come. Now here I am giving you few tips regarding the letter writing. Right, to start, place your full address in the upper left hand corner. Right, now suppose there is a page in front of you. This is your page. On the left corner, this is the left corner. Right, on the left corner you will write what? Your own full address. Right, I should change the color, I guess, so that you can see your own full address at the upper left. This address will come in 3 lines: your address, date, and then the city, and then the date. Here I will tell you few other details. Now skip a line, then include a date. You have to write a date. There are two ways to write a date in any letter. I will tell you afterwards. Then you have to skip a line, and then you have to skip a line. This line should be skipped, and then you have to write a address of the recipient. Address of the recipient. Recipient means to whom you are writing that letter. At the top you will write your own address, then you will skip a line, and then you will write the address of that person to whom you are writing, right? Then you will skip a line, and then you will add a subject. You will add a subject about a subject will be very precise, and it should be in words rather than in lines, right? And then you will come, then after subject you will write about the greetings or the to whom you are calling, right? These are few tips. Then you will when you will call, write the greetings, then you will skip a line and begin a letter. In a body of your letter you have to separate your thoughts. Now girls, keep it in your mind that you have to separate your thoughts. You have to separate your thoughts in the paragraph. Now this is something important that you people normally mix and confuse. कि separation of thought means कि a problem should be talked in one paragraph, then a solution should be talked in another paragraph, and then the suggestions should be given at the end, or conclusion should be problems and issues given should be given in another paragraph, right? It means that one paragraph is a thing in which same thoughts should be present. This is something that you need to learn about, not only in the letter writing but also in all the questions that you normally deal. A paragraph is something in which single concept or single idea is present. Then you have to skip one line to include complementary clause. Now skip 3 lines, and at the end you will write your own full name and the end greetings, right? Now let us do it in the format form, in the so that you can understand it easily. Now girls, here why you write examination hall, city, ABC and date. You write examination hall because at that time you are sitting in the examination and you are forbidden to write your own address while you are taking your final examinations, right? In the final examinations you have to write the address of the hall. Examination hall, you are not allowed to mention your a city name, that is why you write city. Examination hall means your own personal address. In the examination you are forbidden to write your own address in the final paper, that is why you write examination. Okay, then you are not allowed to write your city name, that is why you write city, and then you write down the city, ABC full stop, and then you write date. Now there are two ways to write the date. Number one, as you can see here, 22nd November 2014. It is a very old date, right? You now you are in 2020, that is why you will write the date of this concern year. Now there are two ways to write the date. For example, first day, month, and then year, as it is mentioned over here. You can write also here as a November, or nowadays this is June. This is the first way. Now the second way of writing the date is June 23, 2020 full stop. This is another way of writing the date. You can choose either of them. Then you will skip a line. Here you can see that this line is skipped. Then you will write the address of the editor or address of the company to whom you are writing. This is the address of the recipient. Here it is editor, the Daily Dawn, right? Comma. After editor you will put a comma. After the name of the company you will put a comma, and then you will write the name of the city and you will write full stop here. Now in some cases you can skip a line, but most of the time you don't skip a line, and then you will write a subject. Normally when you write a letter to the editor, you talk about the problem of anything. That is why you can write here the problem of smoking, the problem of for example, the problem created because of the pandemic nowadays, the problems of the rush drive, or the problem of lack of medicines or lack of facilities, different facilities, either these are the academic ones or related to health. Anything that is being asked, you will write here only the name of that particular item. Now here you can skip a line, and if you don't want, you don't, then put the greetings. Here sir is written, and after that comma. And now you can see there are at least 2 to 3 paragraphs are there, in which you will talk about first the problems of particular nature which is being asked from you, and after writing the problems you will talk about the suggestions. You will talk about the suggestions. Here you can see different suggestions are given, and at the end here in the third paragraph you will conclude the whole report, and finally you will skip a line and you will write yours truly XYZ. Why you write XYZ? Because again you are forbidden to write your name or roll number in your final examinations. When you are doing you are not writing a letter in your final examinations, it means you are doing in real life, so you will not write XYZ, right? You will write your own name and your address at the end of the letter. Hopefully you understood it. Now girls, here I have given a paper of English, that is University of the Punjab, and if you can see over here, there is a very small font I have given. Sorry for that. Next time I will be careful about writing a bigger font here. Now coming to the next slide, this is your assignment. This is your assignment, and it was the question which was asked in the paper, which you cannot see on the slide. Next time hopefully I will use a bigger font. Here your assignment is that write a letter to the editor of newspaper about the need of optimism in life. Here this is the letter that you have to write a newspaper. Right here you will have to write your own address. Then there isn't mentioning of the name of the newspaper, that is why you can write it of your own choice, but you know whom you have to write, to the editor. There is no mention of the city, you can write the city of your own choice, and the subject will be optimism in life, the need of optimism in life. And then you will start with the sir, and you will write at least 3 paragraphs why optimism is needed. First, why it is lacking in life, then why it is needed in life, and third paragraph will be what could be done to improve optimism in life, right? And at the end you will give the suggestions, and you will conclude it afterwards by writing your own name at the end of the letter, right girls? In the next lecture inshallah taala we will do a bit of more practice. You have to write this question as your assignment, right? And you have to show it to me. Hopefully you understood it. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.